Good morning, beloveds. Sugar was in here and I was trying to get her to come up on the couch. And she turned around in the last minute and was like, never mind. Life with a cat, right? If I look bleary-eyed and tired, it's because I just woke up. My alarm went off at 6:15. I got up. Not at 6:15. I don't know how long my alarm probably went off for a little bit before. Got up, went to the bathroom, came out into the living room. My partner was watching Olympic swimming. I walked over to the window and said, "It's raining." And he said, "Are you going to go back to bed?" And I went, "Yes." So I went back to bed. So it's been raining effectively for 3 days. It stopped yesterday afternoon, and fortunately it's been a light rain. Not anything too much, but, cause one of those days, it was a heavy rain. We got a lot, but so I didn't get to go to the park today. So I went back to bed. So here we are. Okay. So if you are following along, we are in chapter 24, the general summary of the Science of Mind text. I showed you the cover, so just in case, because if you don't have that cover, then the page numbers probably don't line up. Oh, and I'm about to lose my page if I'm not careful. So we are starting on page 420 with the first full paragraph. In practice, we state clearly in words what these ideas mean to us, and then we relate these statements to some needed experience or to some desired good which we have not been experiencing. After using whatever words will bring conviction to our thought, we pause and try and visualize the presence of the all-power from which every special good comes. This is adding the spirit to the letter of the law. However, we should never forget that both the letter and the spirit are necessary in our work. The letter molds while the spirit creates. The thought is a mold. Conviction is the molten substance poured into this mold. One is not complete without the other, and many people make the mistake of using only one of these essential states of consciousness. Whoops, sorry. That got a little weird. I just saw a line that I was like, you know what? That's really good. The thought is the mold, and the conviction is the molten substance poured into this mold. One of the things that Jesse is big into, if you want to make a thought creative, it's thought plus feeling. You gotta wrap that feeling around what it is that you want. But that's also how we can get ourselves into trouble, okay? Thought plus feeling. So if we are thinking negatively and wrapping a whole bunch of really powerful negative emotions, or not even necessarily negative emotions, because anger isn't negative, but it is a powerful emotion. So if you have a negative thought and you are wrapping anger around it and you wonder why you're creating what you're creating in your life, that's your answer. Anytime it's like, watch where your powerful emotions are going. Watch where your strong emotions are going and wonder why you're creating what you're creating. Okay? When we live in obedience to the power which is over us, we shall be able to consciously direct the lesser conditions that are around us. Okay? When we live in obedience. Obedience is kind of one of those words that, 100 years later, we're like, I don't know about that. But so a word you might use in instead of obedience, here, let me redo the line for you with a new word. When we live in alignment to the power which is over us, we shall be able to consciously direct the lesser conditions that are around us. A little more palatable for the 21st century. Adam was permitted to name all of the creatures, and people were supposed to exercise authority over all of those below them. Okay. But this power was abused, and the experience of lack, sickness. Wait. This means their whole physical environment, of course. But this power was abused, and experience of lack, sickness, and limitation fell upon humanity. Adam symbolizes every person's experience. The allegory of Eden is the story of human evolution. All right, I'm a little curious to see where he's going with this one. Because one of the translations of the Bible is dominion, and like, I don't care for that. I prefer the word stewardship. We were given stewardship, over nature. And again, I don't think that everything is below us, but I think we've set ourselves apart from nature, and that's where a whole lot of our problems stem from. Okay, sorry. I'm really getting off topic here. All right, so let's see where he's going with this particular topic. Whenever the image of thought is set, there is power to create. Let me try again. Wherever the image of thought is set, there the power to create resides. God, if thou seest God, dust, if thou seest dust. That's an interesting quote. Can we see good where evil appears to be? Then we can remove the evil. When we bring a lamp into a darkened room, where does the darkness go? The darkness neither came nor did it go anywhere. It never was a thing of itself, merely a condition. And we have power over conditions. The light is greater than the darkness, nor has the darkness any power over the light. The darkness is the great denial of the light, but it really did not deny the light, nor was it where the light. Okay, but it really did not deny the light, for where the light was, the darkness was not. By merely bringing in the light, the darkness vanished into its native nothingness. This is the power of reality over seeming opposition or apparent separation. Okay, the relationship between the individual and the universal mind is one of reflection. That is, what we imagine for ourselves, it images for us. It follows that the very law which creates bondage could as easily create freedom. The divine intends freedom for us, but the very fact that we have creative thought and that we are real individuals presupposes the use of our creativeness in more than one way. All right. I know this is a summary, but I'm like, what are we talking about here? But the same law that when we imagine ourselves in bondage, then we are in bondage. And if we can imagine ourselves in freedom, we can create the freedom. That's what he's saying. All right. We can sit in the shade or move into the sunshine. Sitting in the shadow, we may not really believe that there is any sunshine, but the sun would be there all the time, and all the time we are in bondage, the real freedom exists. It is there, but we must awake to it. The law of mind is quickly creates one form as another for us, and we must allow the patterns of our thought to become molded from the highest sense of reality we possess. Okay, that's what he's talking about. Allow the patterns of our thoughts. Each individual thought is not what we are concerned about, okay? We are concerned about the pattern of our thoughts, the trend of our thoughts, where our thoughts tend to go. So, all right, now I highlighted this first line in this sentence, this paragraph, so let's see what I thought was so important. By giving our complete attention to any one idea, we automatically embody it. We attract to ourselves the objective likeness of this embodiment. The thought becomes a thing. The mental state takes on form, color, and temporary reality. We outwardly experience our states of consciousness, but since the apparent without is merely a reflection of the within, which is its cause, what we most need to do is to start with the simple proposition of the creative power of thought, and from this inner recognition, know that the circumstances are formed and held in place. Wait, what? Where your attention goes is where your power goes. All right. Just a simple sum up, right? If we believe in suffering, we shall suffer. The response to us life responds to us in the way we approach it. All right. I thought that was important enough to highlight. Life responds to us in the way we approach it. We should choose that which we wish to embody, and by constant attention to it, take on all its characteristics. Let us choose to be identified with power, with love, and beauty, with peace and happiness. Let us identify ourselves with abundance and with success. Life responds to us as we approach it. Goes back to, what do you think about the most? That's where your power is. The objective form to which we give our attention is created from the very attention which we give it. The objective is but the reflection of the subjective state of thought. Life is a blackboard upon which we consciously or unconsciously write those messages which govern us. Oh my Lord, that's a good one, right? Life is a blackboard upon which we consciously or unconsciously write those messages which govern us. Maybe we need to take a peek at that blackboard more often and use our erasers. There's plenty of chalk. Rewrite those messages. We hold... I'm sorry. I said we need to use those erasers and there's plenty of chalk. Well, that's his next line. We hold of the chalk and the eraser in our hand, but are ignorant of this fact. What we now experience, we need not continue to experience, but the hand which holds the eraser must do its neutralizing work. I will blot out their transgressions and remember them no longer against them, was written by one who saw the board, the chalk, and the eraser. Life is a motion picture of subjective causes. What is the screen and what are the what is the screen and are the figures real? Yes and no. Real as figures, but not as self-created or self-perpetuating. Happy is the one who holds the projecting machine firmly in their conscious thought and who knows how to make conscious use of it. So that goes back to the drumbeat of consciousness, consciousness, consciousness. The more conscious we are, the more we can affect our life. The more unconscious we are, the more likely we are to blame fate. No. That's why we want to get way super conscious about what's going on in our lives. We may not be able to change everything in our life because we are in relationship with other people, but we can begin the process by being conscious. And sometimes that causes people to drift out of our lives. And sometimes it brings new people into our lives and new opportunities into our lives. And that's okay. You want to be conscious of your thoughts. All right. The will of God is always towards that which expresses life and happiness. To suppose that the will of God could be in opposition to the advancement of our lives would be to think of spirit as being self-destructive. It is always seeking self-expression through us and will never deny us anything. The law says that if our desires are destructive, we shall suffer from them until the lesson is learned. And what is this lesson? It is simply that the universe is one and never two. It refuses to operate against itself. It is foolproof. Doesn't mean it's not filled with fools, but it is foolproof. The will of God. The will of God is always towards that which expresses life and happiness. Okay. It's just that the Spirit doesn't judge and the Spirit doesn't say no. So if you want something destructive, well, you know what? All right. The Spirit cannot be or become antagonistic towards us. It is always flowing into us and ever expressing itself through us. The self-expression of God is also the self-expression of people, for the two are one. The I am is both individual and universal. All individuality merges into universality. All forms are rooted in one common creative mind, and the Spirit of God is the spirit of people. All right? Know who you come from. Know what you come from. There's a line, it's not uniformity. It's multiplicity. Multiplicity from it's not uniformity. It is multiplicity from unity. Okay? Unity spread out into multiplicity, but not uniformity. It's very important to remember that. Okay. To practice the presence of God is to awaken within us the Christ consciousness. Christ is God in the soul of people. The resurrection is the death of the belief that we are separated from God. For death is to the illusion alone and not to reality. God did not die. What happened was that people awoke to life. The awakening must be on the part of people, since God already is life. All right. Yeah, I guess I'm going to finish this page, and then we're going to... I told you we were going to be in this chapter for a while. It's the general summary. Okay, to practice the presence of the divine in others is to practice mental healing, for it is a recognition of this divine presence which heals. All the words used in the process of healing are for the purpose of building up the realization that I am is in the midst of thee. Okay, so recognizing the divine presence within that's it. The divine presence heals. The recognition of it heals. The recognition of the presence, the divine presence within you, heals that illusion of the separation and allows you to step more fully into who and what you are, which is a beloved expression of the divine, right? I always want to follow up that sentence. Well, what am I? The beloved expression of the divine. In mental treatment, we should feel as though the whole power of the universe were running through the words we speak. The words must become spirit and life if they are to overshadow the thoughts and action that have brought about a discordant condition. As much conviction as we have, that we may use. As much conviction as we have, that we may use. That's why we practice. All right. And this actually does end on, we're going to end on the bottom of this page, right? So I'm thrilled. That's part of the reason why I'm going to go ahead and stop here now. The conviction that heals is that God is all in all and that there is no material cause or effect. The practitioner treats not a patient nor a disease. They seek to heal the thought of its mistaken idea that cause is independent of good. To do this, they must contradict what appears to be so. They would be ineffective workers in this field who judge the possibilities of their work by observing the outside happenings. Oh God, Ernest! Don't focus on the appearances. Okay? Don't focus on the appearances. It's one of the reasons why practitioners don't ask how the treatment worked out for you. Because we have to be confident. We have to be absolutely confident when we treat for you that the treatment worked. So we don't ask. We are always thrilled when you tell us how the treatment worked out for you, and the other thing is you always want to remember when doing a treatment, focus on the what, not the how. Because when we focus on the how, we limit spirit. And spirit has infinite ways of doing that which we ask. And sometimes spirit will answer us in a way that we didn't expect. But it's still an answer. So remember that. Remember that. So it's a good lesson to learn. Okay. So we are going to pick up on 114, the first paragraph on 114, and keep going because, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We probably have 2 more days. And then we all have the final conclusion, and then we'll go from there. So we're going to pick up on 114 and then general summary tomorrow and go from there. All right. So then just what I like to call the basic housekeeping. I'm just going to remind you an easy way to support the center is to engage with our social media. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I am the running Rev Ryan on the social media. So we ask you to go like, subscribe, follow, share, and comment. So it bumps us in the algorithms, and we think that we have good stuff to share. We endeavor to keep it light, bright, and tight, and to post stuff that is uplifting and helpful. You know, sometimes the world looks messy, and sometimes our lives look messy. Frequently, our lives look messy, and here we are. So we wanna, if nothing else, change our minds. You know, that's the first step. So all right. Then, if you want more information about the center, please feel free to, the website is creativelife.org. And if you want the constant contact email, then please email info@creativelife.org. You get 1 email a week unless something unusual happens. And the hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it'll take you right to the information you want. Down at the bottom of the email, he has a link that'll take you right to the YouTube channel where our Sunday services are posted and other stuff is posted. So you can go have some fun with those playlists. I worked very hard on them, so I'm very proud of them. All right. I'm going to take a deep breath here and encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a go dance in the rain day, a be careful in the rain day, a enjoy the cooler weather while it lasts day, a catter day, a rest day, a finish up your tasks day, a do what you need to do day, a take care of yourself day, a call a friend day, a cuddle your fur babies day, a good day, a drink plenty of water day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark, spirit in motion, God in action, or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, a godling. All right? Explore the truth of your being. That's what I've been doing for however many months I have been reading the Science of Mind text. I've been exploring the truth of my being with the words of Ernest Holmes. So, please, get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from that point, all things are possible. All right, beloveds. Take care of yourself. Nope, hang on. Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you around 9 a.m. And since today is Saturday, at least in 2024, tomorrow, Sunday, we'll have an amazing service for you. So take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.